And the lack of social skills didn't just make me feel awkward, it created constant conflict between me and the outside world. Have you ever looked at other people and wondered, what do they know that I don't? Because that's how I felt for most of my life. I watched people build friendships, find partners, create families, build careers, walk into a room and simply exist. Meanwhile, I was exhausted, analyzing every conversation, replaying every interaction, trying to understand what everyone else seemed to understand naturally. And for years, I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I lacked confidence. I thought I lacked social skills. I thought I was too sensitive, too quiet, too different. Until one day I discovered something that was both heartbreaking and liberating. I wasn't failing at life. I was trying to learn social skills at 30 plus years old that I should have been allowed to learn as a child. For most of my life, I genuinely believed that I was a problem. Whenever someone was angry, I looked at myself. Whenever someone was disappointed, I looked at myself. Whenever something felt wrong, I looked at myself. I became so used to search for my own mistakes that I rarely stopped to ask, what if this isn't actually about me? One of the earliest memories was waiting for my mother to come home from work. And when I was very little, I wasn't waiting because I was afraid. I was waiting because she was my mother. She was the first person I ever knew, the first face I recognized, the first voice I learned, the first place where I thought safety exists. So of course, I was attached to her. How could I not be? When you come into this world, you don't know anything. You don't know who you are. You don't know what life is. You don't know what love is. You simply trust. And for me, my mother was my whole world. I wanted her to come home. I wanted to be close to her because in my little mind, if my mother was here, everything was okay. But somewhere along the way, something changed. I don't know exactly when. I don't know exactly how. But little by little, waiting for my mother stopped feeling like waiting for safety and started feeling like waiting for a verdict. Every afternoon, I found myself hoping, I hope today will be okay. I hope nobody upset her. I hope she didn't have a bad day. I hope nothing happened at work. I hope nothing follows her home. Because if something had gone wrong, it felt as though that storm would arrive home with her. And even though that I was just a child, somehow I felt responsible for making sure it didn't become worse. Looking back now, I think that was one of the first moments I stopped paying attention to myself and starting paying attention to everyone else. I became incredibly sensitive to people, or at least that's how I described it for years. I could walk into a room and immediately feel tension, anger, sadness, discomfort, judgment, sometimes before a single word was spoken. And I couldn't relax until I figured out what it was. My attention immediately became, how are they feeling? Are they upset? Did I do something wrong? Do they like me? Are they angry? Are they uncomfortable? As if my nervous system entered every room before I did. People saw someone quiet, someone observant, someone polite. What they didn't see was how exhausting it was. Because while everyone else seemed to simply exist, I was working, scanning, reading, adjusting, trying to stay safe. And after a while, you become exhausted. Not physically, soul exhausted. People often told me I was mature, responsible, helpful, reliable, and I was. But while I was learning how to take care of everyone else, I wasn't learning how to become myself. I remember how proud I felt when I was young. My mother would praise me for helping around the house, for cleaning, for cooking, for being responsible. And as a child, that felt like love. I loved feeling useful. I loved making her proud. I loved feeling needed. So I learned quickly. I learned how to cook. I learned how to clean. I learned how to take care of things. And at first, there was praise, there was encouragement, there was approval. But over time, the praise disappeared, the appreciation disappeared, the acknowledgement disappeared, but the expectations remained. The things that once earned approval became obligations. Eventually, people could leave things undone because they knew I would do them. I was the youngest in this house. Things could be left messy because they knew I would clean them. Responsibilities could be ignored because they knew I would handle them. And what breaks my heart now is realizing that while I was becoming extremely skilled at taking care of everyone else's needs, nobody was teaching me how to take care of my own. I learned how to be useful, but I wasn't learning how to be myself. I think I confused being useful with being loved. And that's when I realized something that completely changed how I saw my life. Maybe I wasn't born without social skills. Maybe I simply missed the stage where most people naturally develop them, because social skills aren't something children magically have. Children learn through experience, through curiosity, through mistakes, through exploring the world. A healthy child runs into life and tries things. They fail, they embarrass themselves, they learn, they adjust, and then they try again. That's how confidence is built. That's how identity is built. That's how social skills are built. But what happens when a child is not allowed to do that? What happens when survival becomes more important than exploration? When independence is discouraged? When curiosity is punished? That child never gets the chance to develop naturally. Instead of learning how to navigate life, they learn how to navigate the emotional climate of the home. Instead of learning who they are, they learn who they need to be. While other children are building confidence, they are building hypervigilance. While other children are learning how to live, they are learning how to survive. And the lack of social skills didn't just make me feel awkward. It created constant conflict between me and the outside world. Whenever I struggled, I went back to my family. I would explain what happened. I would ask for advice. And the answer was almost always the same. Ignore them. Don't talk to them. Leave it. People are like that. Society is unfair. There's no point. Nobody was helping me understand what had happened. Nobody was helping me learn. Nobody was helping me build confidence. Instead, I was constantly being pushed back into dependence, back into needing someone else to tell me what to do. And the truth is, for a long time, I agreed with them. I repeated exactly what they said. I believed society was unfair. I believed people couldn't be trusted. I believed the world was dangerous. How could I not? I was still living with my family until I was 28 years old. That was all I knew. So when I finally left, I carried those beliefs with me. And for years, it seemed as though they were right because I struggled. I kept running into the same problems. But after years of living independently, something stopped making sense. I knew I wasn't a bad person. I knew I wasn't incapable of connecting. In fact, I could make friends in 2 minutes. People enjoyed talking to me. People opened up to me. People trusted me. So what exactly was missing? And then I realized I had developed many of the skills my family encouraged. I knew how to clean. I knew how to cook. I knew how to sacrifice. I knew how to help. I knew how to put everyone else first. But those skills were not helping me building a life. They were not helping me build confidence. They were not helping me become independent. Maybe society wasn't impossible. Maybe I had simply been disconnected from it for so long that I never had the opportunity to learn how to navigate it. Maybe I had been taught to fear the very thing that I needed in order to grow. One of the loneliest parts of this experience is that nobody can see it. People looked at you and see an adult, someone who should know how life works, someone who should be confident, but what they don't see is the child who never got the chance to learn, the child who never got the chance to fail safely, the child who never got the chance to explore. People looked at my adult body and expect adult confidence. What they don't see is the child inside who never got a chance to learn. Eventually, I reached a point where I asked my parents a question. Don't you see what's happening? Do you not see that your children don't have lives of their own? Do you not see that we have spent our lives trying to make you happy while losing ourselves in the process? What exactly do you want from me? Because it seemed like I could never satisfy you. At the same time, you didn't want me to leave. You didn't want me to become independent. You didn't want me to build my own life. And for the first time, I stopped asking what's wrong with me and started asking what's happening around me. That question changed everything, because once I could see it, I couldn't unsee it. And when the answers never came, when the expectations never ended, when the sacrifice never ended, I finally gave myself permission to do something I had never done before. I left. Not because I stopped caring, not because I stopped loving, but because I finally understood something. For years, I thought I was behind. I thought I was broken. I thought I was failing. But now I see it differently. I wasn't failing at life. I was trying to learn social skills at 30 plus years old that I should have been allowed to learn as a child. I wasn't struggling because I was weak. I was struggling because I was starting from a place that most people never had to start from. Maybe healing is not becoming someone new. Maybe healing is finally allowing yourself to continue the childhood that was interrupted. Because in the end, I wasn't looking for permission to leave. I was looking for permission to live. And when nobody gave it to me, I finally gave it to myself. Ta-da! If you feel this video was useful to you or anyone maybe you know that needs to watch this video, feel free to share it with them. I wish you a beautiful night or a beautiful morning, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.